The scene transitions to Seoul, Gasan Digital Complex in Gyeongcheon District. This giant building is now known as the Hero Complex. Here, all trades related to magic stones or anything found in the gates go down. And nowadays, this place is busier than ever. Dojin can be seen heading toward one of the stores that deals in buying and selling magic stones. Upon entering, he's greeted by this Gen Z bastard, busy scrolling through brain-rotting Insta Reels. When Dojin says he wants to sell some magic stones, the cunning shop owner immediately starts preaching about his business, claiming this branch offers the highest prices to their clients. He even goes as far as saying they're the best in the whole country. Dojin finally puts all the low-grade gems smeared in monster blood on the counter, causing the store owner to put on this sour expression like he just got boned from behind. He's seriously grossed out by all the blood stuck to the stones. Regardless, he doesn't complain and moves forward with the transaction. Dojin is asked if he wants some coffee while the stones are being processed. A little while later, he is sipping coffee while the shop owner carefully cleans the blood off the stones. Afterwards, the owner calculates the total amount due. There are 12 low-grade magic stones, 16 medium-grade ones, plus 5 upper and lower-grade stones as well. After deducting a 40% commission, Dojin is set to receive around 5.5 million won. Well, our boy isn't too comfortable handing over 40% as commission. It just feels unfair because he did all the hunting and wasted his time. So how the hell does this bastard think he's entitled to nearly half the money? The shop owner proudly claims he's being generous, charging only 40%, especially since every competitor in this business charges 45% or more. He's so confident that he even offers Dojin to take his stones back if he doesn't like the price. After all, no one else will offer more, or at least that's what this bastard claims. Our guy ain't falling for that trap and starts stuffing his precious stones back into his bag. Seeing his tricks aren't working, the bastard grabs Dojin's hand before he leaves and demands compensation for the appraisal and the coffee he drank. It's 30,000 won for the appraisal plus an extra 10,000 for the coffee. Not to mention, all the blood he had to wipe off ruined his expensive towel. With everything added up, Dojin supposedly owes the guy around 350,000 won. Dojin isn't giving in to these unreasonable demands, no matter how hard this crazy bastard pushes. Seeing nothing's working, the bastard stoops to street-level tactics and threatens Dojin with the C-class heroes he has as his guards. Right then, those big guys barge in through the back door, asking why they were called. If anyone's causing trouble, they're ready to deal with them. Dojin in response shoots a sharp glare at the bastard, who stares right back with the same intensity. A while passes, and the scene cuts to the terrified, sweaty face of the shop owner, who had been acting cocky like he was the main character. But he got a reality check when Dojin took down his 3 pigs, without breaking a sweat, making it clear who the real MC is. My guy then walks up to the counter and smoothly negotiates the commission down to 1%, no questions asked. We all know there's no arguing when someone like Dojin is staring straight into your soul like that. So the deal goes through, and Dojin walks out with a fat stack of cash for the haul he collected with his sweat, or rather, his fists. His grandma and sister are both in total awe at the huge amount of money. Grandma even suspects Dojin is pulling a fast one with fake bills. But the guy quickly clears that up, saying the money came from lending cash to a friend who started a business that ended up doing really well. Grandma isn't sure if her grandson even has a friend like that. He tries to convince Grandma with another lie that it was a childhood friend. Eventually, Grandma stops asking questions, at least the big ones. Meanwhile, Dojin's sister is super proud of her big brother for making their family rich. The doting brother pats her and gives her hope about the luxury life they'll be living from now on. The little girl just jumps around happy to be rich. Watching her so happy, Dojin realizes he's actually making progress fulfilling a promise he once made. He remembers the words of the owner of the body he's possessing, whose one dying wish was for his grandma and his half-sister Yoonyoung to live safe and happy lives. That poor guy disappeared right before Dojin could say anything, and when he woke up, he had become Seo Dojin. Now his only mission is to make sure this little family lives safely and comfortably. For that, he wants to buy the safest house in Korea, which currently costs 110 billion won. For him, making money won't be an issue as long as he gets his original strength back. This world shares a lot of similarities with the one he came from, the one that was destroyed. The only big difference is that rifts, gates, monsters here are all marginally weaker than the world he once saw fall. To him, who held the title of Sword God in his previous life, this place is nothing but a sandbox. So far, he's only been fighting at 1/10 of his original power. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door, and the visitor says he wants to see Seo Dojin. Bro stands up and decides to answer. As he opens the door, he finds 2 thugs standing outside. These guys are here to claim a debt Dojin owes, an insane 48 million won. Seeing this, Dojin's sure these are loan sharks. The real Seo Dojin borrowed money from before he left this world for good. Though it was supposed to be just 5 million won originally for his grandma's hospital bills, these guys are charging crazy interest to demand 10 times the original amount in no time. They know he's been making money through Gates lately, so they want him to cough up the cash since it's all documented in the contract. But the only repayment these bastards get is a jaw-busting punch right in the big guy's face. That single punch sends the poor thug flying, leaving his partner with his jaw hanging in disbelief. Our guy then gives the scrawny bastard a deadly stare to remind him that over 9 million won has already been repaid. So if you do the math, these bastards should be paying him interest. With another punch that makes the bastard cry like a bitch, Dojin tells him to tell his boss that Dojin's coming to pay a visit. The scene then cuts to the shopping mall, bustling with life. There, we see sweet little Eunyoung lighting up a kid in a teddy bear store. Dojin brought her here for a shopping spree. Today she's free to get anything she wants. You know, our boy wasn't always that soft-hearted Pookie in his previous life. It's the original Dojun's memories that revitalized his dry emotions. It makes his heart warm up to see how kindly Dojin treats Eunyoung, even though she's only his half-sister. So he wants to keep doing the same, and make sure to give all the love he can muster for this little girl. The little girl finally chooses a stuffed toy she really wants. It's a small but cute bunny. She picks it modestly, making sure she's not being extravagant. But Dojin picks a way bigger stuffed toy for her. He doesn't want her to hold back at all. It's her day, and she can pick whatever her heart desires without thinking twice about money. They both treat themselves to some good food too. As they enjoy their meals, an unfamiliar voice calls out our boy's name. It's a middle-aged woman followed by a bunch of bodyguards. This chubby MILF seems like yet another trash talker who loves to hate on our boy. First, she points out his lousy sense of dressing. Then she questions the girl sitting next to him. She's bold enough to throw a jab, saying he must have knocked someone up and had this girl, just like how his mother brought him to this world. Of course, these sharp jabs infuriate our boy beyond anything. Meanwhile, the little girl has no clue who this lady is or why she's trash-talking so casually. This MILF then promptly turns her attention to the girl and asks her name. The girl introduces herself as Lee Eunyoung, which makes this trash MILF realize she's Dojin's sister. Out of habit, the woman throws a jab at her clothes too, calling her a mess. This bitch isn't sparing her deceased mother either, and all of this is just getting on our boy's nerves real bad. But for some reason, he's holding it all in, not trying to get aggressive with her provocations. Even this MILF is pretty astonished at how Dojin is keeping his composure, not falling for her traps. So this bitch decides to go one step further. This fat piece of work is bold enough to ask a child the meaning of harlot. Well, that's the last straw. Dojin snaps and calls her an ugly woman who belongs to a tribe of orcs. Of course, the woman is left wide-eyed and mind blank after getting caught off guard. Let's have a little context to understand why Dojin has been tolerating this woman only so much. You see, Dojin was born an illegitimate child and lived in poverty. At the tender age of 7, his mother died, and he barely made it to his father's house. With his father marrying a new woman, he was shunned by everyone. It only got worse after his father's legitimate wife gave birth to a son, and Dojin was ignored completely. Things got so bad that he got kicked out of the very house he lived in. So he lived with his half-sibling at his grandmother's house. As our boy reflects back, he feels pity for the original Dojin who had to endure all this and still tried to keep a smile on his face like he had no pain in his life. But now he wants to change everything. Seems like this woman is his stepsister, which explains why he was trying to hold himself back. But he won't tolerate her no more. He recalls how he shared a roof with this orc of a woman, and she's just as disgusting as ever. Not only is her personality messed up and her appearance orc-like, she's also dumb as hell. He further crushes her spirit by dropping brutal bombs on how she's a wreck with an inferiority complex. That's the only reason she projects her insecurities onto others by calling them ugly. She's just a gold digger obsessed with others, and that's the real truth the world should know. As he continues to crush her under his sharp jabs, the entire shopping mall watches them like they're the center of attention. The orc lady is totally annoyed and about to lose it, but then Dojin's stepmother walks in. Seeing her mom, the orc lady approaches her like the whiny bitch she is, complaining how this kid just shut her down with words. But this mother is aggravated to see her daughter whining like that and shuts her up with a cold glare. Not gonna lie, bro's got one heck of a stepmom. At first, I even thought the orc lady was his stepmom. The hot mama turns her attention to our boy and greets him with utmost grace. She's inviting him to come back home and hang out for some fun. But Dojin knows all too well that this facade his stepmom is putting up is fake. After all, she's the one who caused the most misery and unrest in the 12 years he lived with them. The woman continues reminding Dojin of things he never wants to remember, triggering his PTSD and making him go full serious mode. With a tone colder than your mother's jokes, our guy tells this bitch to get the fuck lost. That's a major slap to her dignity, being shit-talked by someone younger than her. She just twirls around and leaves with the last bit of dignity she has left. For real though, she wasn't expecting him to clap back so sharply. She's left wondering if he's the same guy who would just lower his head even when she slapped him for no reason. Her bitch of a daughter follows along, with their bodyguards also following the both ladies. Honestly, these guards played the perfect role of mannequins in this ordeal. Let's shift our attention to our boy. Seems like these two girls totally ruined the time our duo was having. So our boy decides to be on his way too. The way he reacted to his stepfamily was intentional. He wanted to make one thing clear. The Seo Dojin who couldn't even speak up for himself is gone. It's high time his trash family realizes that. We then cut to a Mercedes zooming down the road.